Okay. Welcome to Puzzle with Emilia, that's me, and today I'm going to try out a completely new to me, a puzzle brand I've never done before. You most likely know this brand, especially if you're living outside of Finland, because they don't really sell it here, but I know, for example, my US subscribers, you keep recommending puzzles from this brand, and the brand is eeBoo. I think this is mainly from the US, like a US brand. Probably the reason they sell it online, but I'm an old-fashioned and boring person, so I only buy from the shops, like actual physical shops. So they don't really sell this one here. If they do, it's just occasionally in some small store that's nowhere near where I live. But I'm so excited for this because not only it's a new brand for me, it's also a round puzzle, a lot of colors, animals. I'm so excited for this. I bought this from the Turku event I mentioned in one of some other video, and so it's used, but let's go see what we will find from inside the box and what's my first feeling about it. Okay, hey, let's open this up, and remember, if you're interested in tips on how to do round puzzles, then I do have also a video for that, so I won't be sharing tips today. This is also, I've done couple puzzles after I was sick for over a month, but I think this might be actually a third, so I might be taking time, but I'm not taking it too seriously because, well, for the obvious reasons. Okay. Obviously, this is not the original package, but I really appreciate when people who sell their used puzzles actually put it inside of this kind of multi-use plastic bag. And then I think we have a separate poster here. Okay, this is actually kind of like a nice poster. The posters usually have a little bit like a plasticky feeling. I don't know how to explain it, but this is like a, you know, the old-fashioned newspaper that came on your doorstep. Okay, there's a nice catalog of things. Yeah, I actually like a lot of these puzzles that they're showcasing here. But let's do this one now. I'm gonna put this somewhere. I was actually thinking that maybe when I do this, I could show you this puzzle box image. So I took my stand for that. Okay. I have to say, I'm kind of a little bit out of the flow after not filming for a month. This was also the puzzle that you voted for, and you remember there was also the Nova Cat puzzle. I'm also gonna do that, and that was actually my original idea for today. But I'm gonna speed puzzle that 1000-piece puzzle. And I'm not ready for that yet, so that's why we're doing this one first, but both are absolutely lovely, and it was kind of like 50-50 voting with that. Okay, so now you can see that, and I can see this. Let's take a look. How do the puzzle pieces feel? Wow. Okay. The first thing I paid attention to is that the puzzle pieces feel a bit bigger than the regular size, but then I started to wonder that now I'm thinking about the round puzzle from the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championship. I think also those pieces were bigger in that Ravensburger 500-piece puzzle, so I think it might be also related to the shape a little bit, but I would say this is still even a little bit bigger than that. I like that it's kind of like a shiny. It feels good quality. It feels like this is not possible to break. My only wonder, that's my dog as usual, is that are the pieces gonna get stuck? I don't really like the puzzles that are hard to disassemble. Like you need to disassemble them like piece by piece unless you want to break them. So that's kind of like my only question at this point, because I can see, okay, actually that went off quite nicely. Yeah, my first feeling is quite good, and I'm so excited with this image. There was the artist of this. Oh, by the way, if you haven't seen my old videos, the name of this puzzle is Vintage Butterflies. It's 500 piece round puzzle, and the illustrator is Fumiha Tanaka, who grew up in Japan, Indonesia, and Singapore, a designer at eeBoo for many years. She's passionate about plant medicines and working with people towards a harmonious life on this earth. And I can definitely get that vibe from this image. As said, I'm gonna time myself. So yeah, let's find my timer and start doing this. And then see what are my thoughts afterwards. Okay, here we go, starting with the flipping phase, putting the timer on. And you know, usually when I flip, I actually start having like some kind of idea. I'm recognizing some pieces that I'm gonna start with, but I was so overwhelmed with all these pieces, like so many details, so many colors, that everything gonna look like the same but different. But good thing with this flipping is that since I'm now back, and I was doing actually my first kind of like speed puzzling thing, and my flipping took me like over 10 minutes. So at least now I'm back with my regular times with the flipping, which is usually less than 3 minutes. So here the flipping took me like 2 minutes and 40 something seconds. And I never actually start with the edges. But as said, I was so overwhelmed with this that I honestly had no other option. And actually those edge pieces were quite easy to find because they were like very like this kind of clear blue color. And also they had kind of like these details on that blue area was a little bit kind of like a gradient. I think you will see it already, but a little bit better later on. And yeah, so as said, I never start with the edges, but I think especially I would say that usually beginners start with the edges, and it makes sense because those are easy to recognize. But as usual, I didn't find all the edges. And after I did the edges, I actually started to realize that there is easy way to find pieces and start this puzzle. So there's kind of like this background of each of those butterflies, that it's different, and even if they're same or different color, it had some little kind of like details on them. But I had two issues that I'm gonna show a little bit in detail right now. So my first issue that I noticed with these pieces is that they're not that much interlocked or like stuck together like some other brand puzzle pieces. So if you need to move them or transfer them, lift them, they will smash. You need to do some preparing. And this wasn't actually another thing that it took me some time to get my first pieces in, because I didn't realize it had these pieces that don't interlock at all, so they just kind of match with the side. And also they're not like same, like, you know, from side to side. It's gonna go like over the side, and it's just attaching to the part of the other piece. So it took me a little bit time to realize that, but when I realized it, I was like, oh, because first I was like, nothing goes here, like it just doesn't match. But yeah, and you have seen me actually a couple times going away from the camera. I don't know if any other YouTubers have this issue, but I always feel like my camera, like I'm kind of questioning myself, did I press the play button? So I have to actually go to check multiple times, is my camera still like recording? You also see I'm doing with the audio, I do a lot of this, just to check if I'm actually recording. And yeah, so that's what I was basically doing a couple times here. And I have to say my favorite things about this puzzle, and I think in general about this eeBoo brand, is that the colors are like the best of the best I've ever seen. Like I've never seen this bright and amazing colors in a puzzle. I have to say the lack of light in this video does not do honor for the colors, but I will show them to you in more detail once we get this finished, because the colors, the details, it's just amazing. And I really like round puzzle. This is actually my second round puzzle that I've done. My first one was in the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championship, which was stupid since I was speculating it already months before that there's gonna be one. But I really like them. They kind of have the different vibe. And in general about this eeBoo brand, I have to say that I really love the puzzle. It's very different when related to what I was saying about the pieces, the colors and details, but I really love it. Okay, so the final time was 1 hour and 24 minutes, which is, I would say, not on my level. I think on my best days, completely healthy, I would have done this about an hour. It was so much fun to take you through the whole process, like what did I learn and when. I really enjoyed this, and as you could see, it was like, I think it felt a little bit harder in the beginning, but I think it was more like a mental, and then when it started going, it really started going. I enjoyed this so much. It's so pretty, and yeah, if you like this puzzle or the ones you see in the catalog or anyway interested, I can definitely recommend you eeBoo puzzles. If you're in Finland, I think you can order from online. And yeah, please comment below what is your favorite eeBoo puzzle, because I know you people do eeBoo puzzles much more than I do. I think I'm gonna get more when I have a chance, but please comment your favorite eeBoo puzzle. If you haven't had any yet, you can also comment what would be your favorite from the catalog. And yeah, that is all for today. This was amazing. It was kind of fun to get back to the puzzling with this one, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!